Ladies and gentlemen, we have some very, very bad news coming out of the country of Kenya. The world record holder in the women's marathon, Ruth Chepngetich from Kenya, has officially been banned for 3 years. And this ban follows up a deep investigation from her initial suspension earlier this season. Now, for anyone that does not know, Chepngetich ran a crazy world record in the 2024 Chicago Marathon, running a time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 56 seconds, shattering the previous world record by almost 2 minutes, and this broke a barrier that I don't think many people thought would be possible for the next 30 or maybe even 40 years. Running under 2:10 used to be the winning time in major marathons for men. In fact, this is still a super impressive time for a male runner, but for a female runner to get this fast, well, many people thought that it was slightly too good to be true. And unfortunately, it really does appear as though that is the case. Now, to get into the weeds of this deep marathon running lore, we need to go back a few months. Originally, this was just a suspension, and this happens when there is an adverse analytical finding in an athlete's urine or blood, and that is what happened with Ruth Chepngetich here, as she was found with HCTZ or hydrochlorothiazide in her system. Now, this is just a diuretic, and it does come in many over-the-counter drugs, but the complicated nature of this drug or diuretic is that it is often used to mask other substances. And that's the main reason why it is on the banned list. It is just so easy for athletes to hide other substances in their system, and the Athletics Integrity Unit knows this. This is really the cornerstone of this entire investigation. And we're going to get into some very interesting detail here because there's a few key parts of this whole investigation that prove, at least in my opinion, that this really was intentional doping. In fact, even the AIU in their report had to admit that this was not accidental by any means, and unless some massive memory lapse took place, Ruth Chepngetich did intentionally dope. Now, if we go back to April 3rd of 2025, that was initially when a laboratory in Lausanne, Switzerland found this HCTZ, and this was initially reported by WADA to meet the standard sanction of 2 years ineligibility. Now, Ruth did have time to plead her case, and for the most part, she really didn't. She just said she never doped, she only said she had no clue what was going on, but one of the key pieces of this investigation was when the Athletics Integrity Unit was able to get access to Ruth's phone, meaning any messages, any pictures, anything that she had stored would be available to the AIU. Now, after some digging, they were able to find a few very, very telling pieces of communication from Ruth. And in my opinion, there's one key part of this that makes it very obvious. The first picture was this. This is a screenshot of messages and images of testosterone. And it's one thing to have images sent to you on WhatsApp. That's not uncommon. There could have been someone saying, "Don't take this." But the thing that's weird about this is that this entire picture here, not just the pictures on WhatsApp, was a screenshot. In my personal opinion, taking a screenshot of WhatsApp and the WhatsApp messages within it is just too much of a coincidence to overturn. And Ruth did say that she didn't know how this got into her phone and that this might have been an accidental screenshot. But I just am not buying that right here. I just can't seem to shake the undeniable correlation between these messages and her positive test. And if we go a little bit deeper into what the AIU did find, they found another image of Anavar, and Anavar is also a performance-enhancing drug that is illegal to take based on the banned substance list of the AIU. Now, she was interviewed about these two pictures, and at the interview, she denied searching for Anavar and stated that this picture may have been an image sent in a WhatsApp group chat that had been automatically saved to her photo gallery. And this one is just a picture, not just the entire WhatsApp message. So this is yet another example of someone trying to get out of the truth, I think. And following a review of the athlete's position in relation to their analytical finding, the AIU was satisfied that she had in fact intentionally doped. And here's the very, very interesting part of this entire situation. This initial decision took place on July 17th of 2025. However, on July 31st, 14 days after getting the notice of this charge, Ruth had a brand new story as to what actually happened. Now, to put it simply, she explained that back in March of this year, she was experiencing a pretty big illness. She was sweating, she was weak, she was having difficulty sleeping, so she asked her housemaid if her housemaid had any experience with these kind of symptoms, to which her housemaid said yes, and she also asked her housemaid if she had any medicine that could alleviate her symptoms. And by some weird situation unfolding, she decided to take this medicine without checking whether or not it was safe to take, and she took the medicine, went back to sleep, and never reported taking this medicine to the AIU. Now, the reason that this is so bizarre is that on this blister packaging provided by the athlete, in big, bold blue lettering, you can see hydrochlorothiazide, which is one of the primary diuretics that you cannot take. And when it comes to certain athletes taking banned substances, there can be situations where an athlete just doesn't understand what's going on. But with Ruth, this is just not the case. Over the years, there is actual footage of Ruth attending some pretty big education sessions on doping. In fact, in this video right here, you can see Kipchoge, you can see other big names from Kenya, and obviously right here, this is Ruth Chepngetich attending this seminar. So in my opinion, there is just no way that she would have taken this without checking or at least reporting it if the situation was dire. Also, the AIU figured out that she routinely informed any doctor or other medical professional that treats her that she is an elite athlete and she cannot take certain substances. She also reported that if she ever went to a pharmacy, she knew that she needed to Google that medicine to see if it was safe. So this entire situation, this blister package right here, just seems like a huge example of backpedaling. And it seems like a last-ditch effort to not be caught and be banned for many, many years. And ultimately, Ruth has been given a 3-year ban instead of a 4-year ban because she admitted to the doping within a certain time period. She also reported that she, quote, made a big mistake by taking a medicine and not informing the investigator and the official who were in charge of taking samples. She also requested forgiveness. Based on the fact that her WhatsApp messages did include various banned substances, and given the fact that she did not report taking this medicine from her housemaid until she had been confronted about the pictures in her WhatsApp, just leaves me to believe that this entire situation, from her perspective, was fabricated. The world record holder, Ruth Chepngetich, will not be eligible to compete until 2028. And this will be after the Olympics in LA. This will be after the 2027 World Championships. This is a big chunk of her career. And given that she is already 31, she is going to lose many prime years of running moving forward. Overall, this entire situation is sad. It's not fun to see some of the best athletes competing right now as to have been cheaters. But that is the reality that we live in. Many of the world's best athletes are doping, and I'm already going to guess there's going to be someone in the comments saying I would be surprised if there was someone that did not dope. Someone always comments that, and it gets a lot of likes, so go ahead and do your thing. Anyways, I just thought you'd find this entire situation interesting. I'll make sure to attach below the full Athletics Integrity Unit decision and the initial press release. Very, very interesting reads. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time.